What is up, my fellow gamers? Welcome to the channel. I am the Lethal Shinobi, and today we're going to check out what I consider to be the top tier weapon drops in GodFall. Let's get into it. So first up guys, what constitutes a top tier weapon? All of the weapons technically have their own individual use cases, however, there is one simple characteristic that makes a certain loot drop the pinnacle of items to have, and this is the possibility of weapons that drop with double primary traits. Weapons with these double primaries can allow for your builds to take advantage of two powerful traits from one weapon class and utilize them in a single slot. This can push your build above and beyond its normal capabilities. Two additional things worth noting for all the weapons here guys is that firstly they can drop with any elemental damage attributes such as fire and void and so on, and secondly each weapon type only draws from the respective pool of bonuses available for that specific weapon type. You'll see examples on screen as we go through each of the weapon types. Also guys, I won't be covering any of the cursed loot items. I feel like they are in a league of their own and require a separate video. If that's something that you would like to see, let me know in the comments down below and I'll try to make it happen. Let's start off with the GreatSword weapon class. For this weapon type we have the legendary Eye of the Unknown. This one you see on screen has the ability to apply the mark of weakness whenever we hit an enemy with a weapon technique, and grants the greater blessing of power whenever you defeat a marked enemy. You can really see here how the synergy of primary traits can boost the power of your build. Next up we have the longsword. For this weapon type we have the legendary Sword of Dominance. This is personally my most favoured weapon type in the game. With the example on screen, you can see that inflicting ailments on enemies will provide you with both a boost to Archon Fury charge and give the greater blessing of luck. So if you had a build utilizing the critical hit mechanic and Archon Fury, you no longer have to choose between one or the other, you can have both. Moving on guys, we have the Polearm weapon class. For this weapon type, we have the legendary Sunflare Destiny. In the example on screen, whenever you inflict an ailment on an enemy, you'll gain the greater blessing of endurance, improving your survivability, as well as the ability to expose the enemy's weak points, providing an additional damage route for weak point builds. This example also showcases that for an item to be considered a good roll, it does not necessarily have to have a purely offensive synergy between the two traits. The second to last weapon class we have is the Warhammers. For this weapon type, we have the legendary Maul of the Obsidian pack. This one you see on screen here is a good example of a pure defensive option, allowing you to both slow your enemies in a time bubble and gain the blessing of endurance whenever you inflict an ailment on an enemy. Last but not least, we have the dual blade weapon class. For this weapon type we have the Twin Dragons. This example on screen is a great way to showcase that sometimes, even if you don't have synergy between the two primary traits, you can still make them work. Every time you defeat a marked enemy, you will gain weapon technique charge, and while inner focus is active, you apply soul shatter to all nearby enemies and all attacks deal soul shatter damage. All you would need to do in this scenario to make this work is to have some other route to apply marks on enemies, and you can create synergy between these two primary traits by yourself. One additional bonus these items provide is that you can double up on a primary trait across both weapon slots. You can do this by using the original weapon in the other slot. For example, with my upcoming Greyhawk build, I am able to use the Sunflare Destiny and the Winter's Call to effectively have access to 4 charges of the Northern technique, revealing enemy weak points and applying chill on enemies. So guys, those are all of the top weapons in their respective classes. I'd like to mention here that there are 2 additional non-weapon loot types that have this double primary property and are available to only the Fire and Darkness expansion players. If you want to check out those items, I have a separate video on my channel which talks about these. Well, that's all I have for you today guys. We've now reached over 200 subscribers and I want to thank all of you guys for showing me support on this channel. If you'd like to join the Discord channel, I will leave a link in the description down below. Don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe guys if you found this content useful. And as always, I wish you all a blessed day and I will catch you in the next one.